Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We are here with War 3 of Season 34, and D69 has matched up against Stella. Not really much to say. These guys are typically Platinum 1. But we knew that if we were sub 10, we would win. Or very likely. And I actually have some interesting fights today. I take quite a few of the Mystic defenders. So we have the team today of Dr. Doom, Falcon, and Odin, which is a pretty interesting team. But the reason I made the title second best skill champion is because when I made my skill champion tier list, I put Falcon as number 2, just barely behind Nick Fury. I actually personally do believe that. I stand by that opinion. I do believe that is true. But whenever I say that, people look at me weird. Because while they do recognize him as great, they don't think he's a top 2 skill champion. Personally, I do. I don't think anyone is close after him. I think I have Mole Man at number 3, and I actually really agree with the order of those 3. But yeah, Falcon is one of the most used champions in Alliance War right now, especially because he benefits from the Defiance Global, so he's just incredible for that. But there, I couldn't remember if Overseer's Autoblock parried, and I thought it didn't, and I was just checking to confirm I was right. It does not. But this just has the spike armor node on it. And Locked On gets increased duration against Science Champions. So basically, if I'd gone... No, I definitely could not have killed in one Locked On. But I'm going to come pretty close to it. I'm going to throw my L2 right here. It may look like it was close, but I do know how long the timer is. I knew I had enough time. And then here, I was just waiting to get Locked On again. Couldn't quite do it there, but there we go. I hit the reparry, but he was stun immune because he'd just thrown a special. But he does die there in 42 seconds. So it is still a pretty clean fight, especially because whenever I'm in Section 1 and I have no like hard mini-boss fights, I boost like a little bitch, and I don't boost. I use the absolute tiniest boosts, only for the reason that people can't say I didn't boost. Not because they actually do anything in the fight. Yeah, this fight is weird. This is Killmonger on the mini-boss for this section. But I was told to use Doom. I don't know why. I don't know who thought Doom was a good idea for here. Especially because I can't shut down his reverb because 1, I don't have Mr. Fantastic synergy, and 2, I don't have and 2, because of the node right back at it, the armor break wouldn't stick anyways. I think the plan was just going to be to like take it super slow, wait reverb out, and then like throw an L3. Honestly, I don't know, but I was told to use Doom, and I didn't even ask if I could use Falcon instead. I just did. Which generally is not a good strategy, but in this case it was absolutely the right call, because why would I use Doom here? It does not make sense. But I was told to. So, yeah, Falcon just destroyed that Killmonger. You shut down the ebb and flow permanently by doing a heavy attack while locked on, as long as the defender isn't immune to ability accuracy reduction or has increased ability accuracy reduction. You actually can turn the node back on if you knock the defender down when you're not locked on. But as long as you don't do that, it'll never come back. And I'm just boosting up here for Section 2. I sound like really low energy. I feel like I'm just like mumbling on in this video. I'm exhausted. I had to work last night, and then I worked at 6 a.m. this morning. So I had like the late shift and then the early shift. So I slept 4 hours, and then I went to work for 8 hours. And then as soon as I get back, I had to go to a physio appointment, physiotherapy. So if you'll excuse me, I'm running on about 4 hours of sleep. And I'm just completely exhausted from work. So I'm just trying to get through this video so I can upload it at a decent time and it not to be super late. But if you look at this fight at this point, he is half down and I'm only 1/3 of the way through the locked on. I kind of thought I could do it in one locked on. It's not going to quite work out. I'm not going to quite make it there. But this is actually my last Falcon fight, so I'm not too worried. I threw my L1 there, mostly because I was trying to bait the L1, and generally speaking, defenders will be more likely to throw special immediately after being knocked down. Sarah just did a combo, and then right there, because I parried, I have to lock on if I want to bypass protection, and I wasn't worried about the block damage, just because, like I said, it's my last Falcon fight. So Falcon has my first 3 fights, and Doom has my last 3 fights. So it kind of worked out really well there. I did use one 6k potion on Falcon. I think I showed that, but that's the only one I used. And then here, I'm just going to use an 8% Mystic Special Boost. Like I said, 3 Doom fights, so just want to make it a little faster. This Annihilus is a pretty straightforward fight, so right there is pretty convenient that he went for that heavy attack because I am running 5 out of 5 MD. There I get the stand-up intercept, and that just allows me to nullify the Rod plus the Furies, which actually I nullified one Fury and staggered another. So at this point, all I really want to do is I want to get to my L3 and I want to throw it. So I'm just hitting him, and then here I'm going to throw... I'm going to throw my special immediately, mostly because I wanted to time the nullification of those Furies so that I could throw my special faster. But normally I would do a medium, light into a heavy there. It just, in that moment, it was probably better to throw the L3 instantly. Although it didn't make a difference, to be honest. I feel like... when I rewatch this video, I'm going to sound like the most monotone person ever. Just normal voice, like nothing, no emotion. But honestly, I just don't have the energy for that right now. And you'll know that I am generally very energetic in my videos, in my commentary. This is Mango Man. Mango Man on the Conflictor Mini. So the strategy with Doom is to just not let him throw a special attack. Obviously, the Prowess Puncture is going to hurt a lot if I decide that I want to take a L2 to the block. So what I'm going to try to do in this fight is limit his opportunities to throw the L2 into my block. And as long as I do that, there's not really much to worry about. So we are going to go for the double Fury cycle in this fight, because at the time I thought this was my last Doom fight. You'll end up seeing what happens. But yeah, I had to throw my L1 really early there because of Mystic Dispersion. That was the only real chance he had in the fight that he could have thrown the L2. But instead he didn't. But that probably would have taken off about 40 to 50% of my health in block damage because of the Prowess Puncture node. But yeah, throwing my L1 there, and I made sure that I did a double light attack so that he would get a Prowess so I can nullify it immediately, and that helped me get to my L2, and my L2 killed him. So what looked like an extremely safe fight, it did have its opportunities to go poorly, but generally speaking, it's a pretty safe fight. And here, I was just cleaning up a fight, but when I clicked on the fight, it took like forever to load. And then when it finally loaded in, you'll see right here it loads in. It says 40 seconds. So somehow it counted the fight time, it counted the time to load into the fight screen, like the pre-fight screen, as part of your time in the pre-fight screen. I don't know why, because that usually doesn't happen. So our guy went in here with She-Hulk. He unfortunately did not have Mr. Fantastic pre-fights, which is why I got a little sketchy. And he actually died by eating an L2. which is not the most fun thing in the world. And Sorcerer can hit damn hard on defense, especially on this node. It's a very common placement. But yeah, my L2 kills. It was like the first hit of my beams, my L2. I just put on a regen boost there to troll. I didn't actually need anything. An invuln wouldn't have helped in that fight. Not really. Because even if he was in Fury mode, I'm immune to armor break. So, like, what's it really doing? We won. But we played, like, garbage. We played, like, trash. We died 12 times. Which I'm pretty sure is more than we died all of last season. Like in any individual war, and I honestly can't remember the last time we had a war this bad. We did have actually one guy that died 4 times, so that kind of makes it look a little worse. A guy that normally doesn't die, dying 4 times, turns that into like an 8 death war, which is still not great and will not be enough to get us like a victory against a top 10 alliance, but it's a lot better. But we didn't need to perform super well, because we destroyed Stella. They died 19 times, and we won by 1,000 fight duration. So we would have had to die 8 times to lose this war. 8 more times. We would have had to die 20 times. So yeah, we haven't been on the hottest streak of our deaths, but we have won every war. And the last 2 wars have been in tier 1. Only the first war was in tier 2. So that is going to be it. We are 3-0 on the season now. I have 1 death total in that stupid War 2 fight that I'm still pissed off about because it was not my fault. And my PSR is at 18 out of 19, which is 95%. And then my Deathless streak is at 9. So that is going to be all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.